first thing you're going to want to do is obviously figure out your color scheme, select your paints. I went with something that was like, blues, greens, beiges, grays, trying to get all that used up. I had basically a bunch of odds and ends that were in the color spectrum of like, planet Earth, the globe. So that's what I'm putting on right now, is all my color in the center of the canvas. On the edges, I mixed up using my base paint, and I thinned it out. It's pre-mixed, but it's kind of a heavier body, so I thinned it out with some of the cheaper metallic silver, because I don't use it often, so I end up having it build up, and then a metallic white as well, just to thin it out. The metallic white is also something I don't use a ton of. I usually just use it to mix in with stuff, so I just had them. No other special reason that I picked those colors. Although I will say that when it comes time to actually add the silicone in there, having the white, having a black color or a silver color, and then making sure it's either thicker or thinner than the paints that you're putting in the center is important. And I did not mix up enough here. In a little bit, I'm going to fast forward here, and you'll see me mix up some more. But let's see if I can do that right. I've tried voicing over and speeding up the footage a few times, and I've boffed it. This isn't just me learning new painting techniques. It's also me learning how to edit video. Okay, so here you see me mixing it up again, because like I said, I didn't make enough the first time. I usually end up, even though I experiment and I understand that I'm going to waste some resources, I tend to be conservative when I can be, out of fear of not having resources later, and sometimes it ends up costing me more than it saves me. But you're using this same base coat that I was talking about before. It needs to be either thicker or thinner than the top, so that way they don't blend together. And you just get enough on the side you're going to do the pulling from. Don't use something heavy. You're not going to be like, this is a swipe. You're not, it's not a what do you call it? Hide and reveal. You're not digging in. You don't want to push all your paint down to the side. You just want to pull that top layer that is going to be what you poke your activator through. And like I said earlier, I like black or white or a metallic, so that way the edges of the cells stand out better, and it has a nicer, sharper, more intentional look. So now at this point, I've got this little jar that I keep toothpicks in, and when I'm ready, I put oil in there, and that's what I use as a little cluster of toothpicks to do the chameleon cell activation. And the oil that I use is just a silicone oil. It comes with a lot of the different paint kits that the pre-mixed paint pour kits I get. And you noticed a moment ago I was messing around in the background, and that was me spreading out some bubble wrap, because sometimes what I'll do is I'll take the extra paint that falls around and I'll put bubble wrap on it, and then use that to do like some different prints on paper or collages or for backgrounds for things. I'm always trying to use, even when I try to always use all my paint, so I don't know why I'm so conservative. because I'm just gonna go find some project to use it for. So I need to learn to throw caution to the wind a little bit more. But I do like this technique. You can see even though it's pretty far away from this camera angle, you can see the cells starting to spread, and over time they do spread on their own. But if it's going too slow, you can hit it with a little bit of heat from your torch or your heat gun. Let's see, and you see the fork sitting there. That's another thing you can use. You can use anything with prongs, so forks, hairbrushes, combs. It does change up the look a little bit. But this is the first time that I ever got it to fully do the cell activation, the chameleon style. Otherwise, I think in the past, things have happened where I've had a little bit of oil that found its way into one of the paints, and it made it so it's harder to work it. Another time, I just didn't put enough different paint, thick enough in it, so there were layers. So those are just some things to consider. So at this point, I kind of start playing with it to see if I can stretch it. And that's when I realized, once again, I did not make up enough mix at the beginning for any potential things that I would need it for. So here I am just trying to connect it to the existing paint, so that way, instead of just like rolling over, it kind of flows and stretches. At least, you need to add the paint from the direction that you pulled the swipe from. And this was my first time doing it, and successfully anyway. And my takeaways are that I should have had more paint on the edges, and I feel like I kind of overstretched it a little, but part of that was because I did not make sure it was perfectly level at the beginning. I cannot stress how important that is. Now that I've gotten better about it, my paintings look a lot better, and I'm much happier I'm much happier with the results executing the vision that I had for it. So, but this still looks cool, like a cross section of some plant cells. So I really liked it.